Warning, due to some language and subject matter, listener discretion is advised.
Is stand-up comedy the most dangerous occupation in the world today? What is the difference between cancel culture and accountability? And are comedians modern philosophers or just merely entertainers in the sociological environment that we now live in? Joining me on the podcast today is fellow podcaster and stand-up comedian Adam Nutter. He's also a huge MMA enthusiast, much like myself. We may not take too deep of a dive in, but we're going to talk about a lot of these issues and other things you and your friends are gathering around the water cooler and discussing at work every day. Coming in hot with this one, ladies and gentlemen, this is Caught on the Mic. All the way from Pennsylvania, it is my homeboy, stand-up comic, fellow podcaster, Adam Nutter. How the hell are you, man?
Doing great, Brother Bear. How are you doing, man?
Oh, shit. I couldn't be better. I couldn't be better. Thanks for joining me on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. You know, we were just talking before I pressed record. You're really from Staten Island originally, right?
Yeah, I do have it. I'm not wearing it today, but I rock a Staten Island hat a lot. It's just the logo of the island itself because I'm trash. So I'm Italian. I know my name is not Italian, but I am Italian trash from Staten Island. So that's me. I am from there. It's awful. I hate it. I'm glad I left. I'm like right now I'm in Philly with the studio, but I live outside of Philly now. And I like it. So
I just got done watching my second rotation of Mikes and Men, the WuTang Clan documentary. So, So I'm all about Staten Island, brother.
Dude, yeah. First of all, I love WuTang. Which I feel like it's like you have to as a Staten Island kid.
Right.
I'm 34. So if you grew up between like 84 and like not even 84, if you grew up between 85 and 94 and you're from Staten Island and you don't like WuTang, you're not from Staten Island. Like you're not you're an alien, dude. So I used to see, this is true, 100% true. I would see Method Man at the Staten Island Mall all the time. Like, I swear. And I would always be like, Method Man, what's up? And he'd be like, what's up? Same white kid I see all the time yelling at me. Like, it's like, he's like, this is my fucking fan base. Just fucking white kids from Staten Island who don't understand struggle. Like, not at all. Like, I'm just some fucking Italian kid who like from the South Shore of Staten Island. But yeah, I used to see them all too, because like those guys still like live in like Port Richmond and shit. They don't live there, like they still live in Staten Island. They live in the nice part of Staten Island, but they still hang out like in all the like with their boys and shit, like in the hood and like the get and like projects and stuff. I used to see them. We see them all the time. It was fucking wild.
I think that's the mode of authenticity with WuTang, man, is they never forgot where they came from.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Shaolin, man.
So without any further ado, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us all about yourself? Tell us your origin story.
I'm an anti-hero if I have an origin story. I'll tell you.
That's every single one of us, my brother. Every single one of us.
Yeah, if you say you're a hero, you're a fucking... If you say you're a hero, you're a sociopath. If you say you're a villain, you're being honest. If you say you're an anti-hero, you're being truthful. That's what I think. So I'm from Staten Island. I'm a comic. I'm doing that for, I guess this is my 9th year, if you want to count even last year as a year.
Right.
You know, COVID was like fucking, I did 20 shows. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I did 20. I had, this is how bummer that was. Dude, I went from 16 shows that I had planned out in April to fucking doing 20 shows for the whole year. Like it sucks, dude. It was fucking a bummer. But so from Staten Island, I'm a comic. I'm a hardcore ANCAP libertarian, so all you Dave Smith fans out there, if you like him, you'll like me. I have a podcast, Cult of Us. I do with my friend Neil Wood, who's another comic. That's our comedy podcast. It's super fun. I do a fun sports podcast with my other comedy friend, Jesse Pedraza. That's called Slapstick Sports. We talk about sports and just joke around and dick around. And then I'm launching my very own libertarian podcast called The Porcupine, and that's dropping either this week or next week. So look out for that. And that's just old libertarian shit. So if you guys are into politics, check me out for that. I used to play football. I used to do MMA. Got a bunch of head trauma. So now I can't control my emotions, and I smoke a lot of weed and do mushrooms. That's what happens when you when you get head trauma. You just do those two things. I don't drink anymore. I stopped drinking for a while. I feel like I haven't drinking like 4 years.
I can like get on board with that. Is that something that's becoming more common with dudes like us?
So I never had a problem with alcohol at all, like ever.
Right.
I never was like I never drank liquor. I hate the taste of it. I'm like a bitch. I'm like, yeah, it's gross. Like I don't want to do shots. Like shots make me gag. Like I hate it. But I love beer, right? Like I love the good beer. Like a good like nice German beer, nice like a Blue Moon, whatever. But I was just getting fat, like and I'm like, what am I doing? Like why am I drinking to get fat, to feel shitty in the morning, to feel like all the liquid left my body? I'm just like a fucking dried out carcass. I'm like, this sucks. It is nothing for me. I don't even get drunk. Like, I'm not even getting drunk anymore. I'm just getting fucking shit, like shitty, like buzzed. And it's like, what am I doing? It's like, so I cut it out and I lost like 25 pounds. Yeah. Like, it was fucking wild. Like it was crazy. Yeah. It's unhealthy for you. You're
absolutely.
Crazy,
right?
You make fun of, if you say weed's bad for you, fucking honestly, jump into a lion's mouth. You're a fucking idiot. Like I get told this all the time, dude. Okay, I have a friend of mine whose father was he was a cop and he's like long retired, but he was like in the days of like all drugs are bad, and he'll sit there and tell me like weed's bad as he is 100 pounds overweight while eating just macaroni and cheese and drinking scotch. I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to you. Are you gonna die when? Soon? Any minute? Any minute you're gonna die? It's like I'm like, I think I'm okay with weed. I'm 160 pounds. I think I'm fine.
So going back to the podcasting thing, you run a business called DropTent Media, correct?
Yeah. So if you could see, I know for people watching, on the wall behind me, I have a few tiles. It's the other podcast on our network. It's just a bunch of other comics. Not everybody's a comic. It's just a collective group of people who want to express, themselves, and we don't limit speech or anything. So we're like, go nuts. We're like a shitty Gas Digital. We're like a Philly Gas Digital. So we have a bunch of podcasts with us, and most of them are comics, but yeah, it's great. It's a bunch of different shows, a bunch of different, like we have sports shows, fucking relationship shows. We have a show about like veganism and like we have another show coming on about called Savagely Black with like 3 black dudes talking like just culture and hip hop and shit. They're all comics. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, man,
it's fucking sick, dude. We have a lot of fucking awesome shows and we're more common. So yeah, it's awesome.
Sweet.
And I go on that with Neil. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So your new podcast that you're about to launch, the Porcupine, that's libertarian based. So
yeah.
So this is I'm glad you brought that up. Usually I play it pretty politically neutral on my show, but that's because I just don't support the current duopoly. I think
you shouldn't.
Right. And so what's it going to take as a libertarian and somebody that's educated and somebody that comes from with a sense of humor? What's it going to take to break that?
Dude, listen, we're trying right now. Like, there's a real. It's I don't know. Like, it's problem is like it's not funny. Like so trying to make it funny is hard. But so like the very bare bones of it is like it's very hard to break people's mindsets, and it's like it is that old sheep mentality where it's like, but Democrats are good. It's like no, but Republicans care about guns. No, right. They don't. No one does. They don't care about you, and they think they do, and that's the hardest part to break. It's not also the law. We're like they straight like own the laws, the R's and the D's, and when they want to, the only time they work together is to keep out everybody else. So like they'll constantly change the laws, so like we can't run, like libertarians can't run for things. Like so they're always on the ballot, Democrats, Republicans, but like my buddy Larry Sharp, who ran for governor in New York,
right.
Like they required him to raise like 25 grand to get like, let's say 5,000 signatures, right? He did that and then went, ooh, actually now it's 50 grand and 10,000 signatures out of nowhere just because they could. That's the shit that no matter how much you break a regular person's mind, well, you got to still break the fucking corruption. It's like, it's very hard. It's hard.
Right.
So
right.
It's not easy. It's cult. You got to do it through culture.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's like when we were in the election season of 2020, and we're like living out the South Park episode of a giant douche versus a turd sandwich.
It really was.
It was like, what's it going to take to get a third party candidate out there that the masses will fall behind? And it's, unfortunately, I feel like it's one of those things where it's going to take a lot of money, a seasoned politician, and a fucking celebrity, because America is obsessed with the cult of personality.
Yeah, it's our thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're really good at it. Yeah.
Absolutely it is. So your last episode of The Cult of Us, I really enjoyed.
Oh, thanks,
man. It was largely focused on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch shrimp guy.
Yeah, it was wild, dude.
Who was married to Topanga. And you used a term so many times in that episode that I absolutely fell in love with. And I started using it at my day job. And you said, bitch energy. And I'm like, holy shit. That is so, because you talked about how basically, for those that are unfamiliar, this guy that's married to Topanga from Boy Meets World, he allegedly found shrimp tails in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And instead of keeping it completely private, he decides to go to Twitter like a bitch and just further escalate things and escalate things and escalate things.
Yep.
I could go on and on, but really what ended up happening is the guy got Me Too'd, or somewhat Me Too'd.
Yeah, no, he definitely
in
did.
the process.
Yeah.
In the weirdest way possible. And you described it perfectly. It was like he put out some bitch energy and karma came back and bit him in the ass.
And when I say women sometimes get offended when I say bitch energy, and I don't mean female energy. I mean bitch energy, as in you're acting like male or female. It could go either way. You're acting like a fucking bitch, and we all know what I mean. You're acting like a fucking like, don't do that shit, man. You're putting out bad karma. It doesn't have to be out there. It's bitch energy. You put out bitch energy, you're gonna get bitch energy back, and it's gonna slap you in the fucking face twice as hard.
Not a Republican thing, not a Democrat thing, but what's happened in the past, like, say, 5 to 6 years, to where people use social media to the point where they're abusing it for those means, like
clout.
Well, that's just it. Is it bad behavior constantly getting rewarded? Or
yes, yeah, that's exactly what. Because no one, let's be honest, dude, no one wants to hear there's an accident and everyone lived, and there was actually people, everyone helped, everyone was actually great at that scene, and it was a not really an emergency. Everyone's like, okay. But that story, the guy shot 17 people and caused 42 accidents, and and then he was also racist. And everyone's like, well, listen to that story instead. It's like, because that's the fucking more grandizing thing. And people see that and they go, oh, well, okay, well, I'm not going to go out and shoot 17 people. But what I can do is say some fucking crazy shit on Twitter. Right. And that's my way. And then people are like, oh, this guy or gal's inflammatory. Let me follow them. Ooh. And then that's a fucking serotonin drip, right? It's a fucking dopamine thing. It's like likes, fucking heart. The heart symbol, it's a dopamine symbol. You hit that little it's like hitting a serotonin drip, right? So you get those likes, like, ooh. It's like ding, ding, ding in your fucking head. And then you're more prone, like, what's his face? Jamie Kilstein, comic, right? He was one of the best examples of like going woke left to fucking for the likes and then having that bite him in the ass. Bitch energy, and then right back, and now he's like, "Oh yeah, that was wrong with me." Right. For guys who don't know Jamie Kilstein, he was comic, a New York comic, and then all of a sudden went super woke progressive left, and was on Twitter constantly being like, "Everyone's this, every guy's this," and then he got Me Too'd, but he unrightfully so. He didn't do anything wrong, but he got Me Too'd, and then he was like, "Oh, the woke mob is actually bad because they don't understand nuance and fucking truth. They don't want to hear truth." And it's like, yeah. It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's like, it's always bad. But people don't care because no one thinks it's gonna ever turn around on them. Right. That's why. Right. And it happens on both sides of the fence, both extremes of the fence. And it's it's horrible. So in the context of all of that, you have this big push where people are talking about cancel culture. So what's the difference between cancel culture and actual accountability? I think, again, it's nuance, right? I think it's absolutely very gray. It's not people want it to be black and white, but it's not. Sometimes it is. Are you hurting someone? You're not, because words don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, feelings don't matter. I'm sorry. Your feelings don't matter. All of a sudden they're supposed to, but I don't agree. So just because by the way, a small portion, a small, very loud portion of this country thinks that feelings matter more, than actual violence. Well, I disagree. They don't. And you guys suck it up. But that's gone now. So now now they're like, oh, I don't like what you said, so I'm going to ruin you.
Right.
It's psychotic. It's like it's psychotic because you could just literally not listen to me. That's how easy that is. It is so easy with social media and technology nowadays to not listen to me, but you're choosing to because you want to be mad at something. This is what it is. And I'm stealing Michael Malice's fucking tweet, or not even tweet what he said on Rogan, but it's perfect. It's low status people who accomplish nothing in life, who had nothing to offer in life. They feel big. They feel that's the only opportunity to fucking virtue signal over you. That's what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it is. And once he said that, I was like, that's it. That's exactly how I felt. I just couldn't put it into words like that. But that's exactly what it is. It's people who have nothing going on, who are fucking uncreative hack losers, and that's their only way of being like, I'm better than so-and-so.
Right.
Great job, man. Like, you're a fucking hero.
Right. And you kind of get it. You get it on both sides of the fence, because whenever you look at like the conservative side, they kind of do it while hiding behind the context of religion, where the left side does it while hiding behind, kind of the social justice norms. And it's really, you nailed it. It's nuance. It's about common sense shit. It's just like, man, just be a damn good person, or like, don't go out with malice. I mean, it's okay to be honest. And sometimes being honest is being harsh, but it's intent. And what's your intent?
Yeah, well, dude, the right does this thing where they'll be like fucking cancel culture, and then like when a lefty guy says something like that he should be canceled for, and they're like in a lefty's eyes, the right was like, "Ooh, cancel him," and I'm like, you're doing the same thing, but because you guys are doing it like in a fucking like tongue-in-cheek way, you're still canceling somebody.
Right.
I'm like, even if you're doing it at a like fucking hypocrisy, just rub it in their face, which by the way, like. And that's the thing. What I struggle with, because a part of me goes, yeah, you fucking deserved it because you fucking had to start shit, right? But then the other part of me goes, yeah, but then I'm just feeding into it too, and I don't want that. Like, what's your face, Ellery Smith, right? When she just went after Shane again for no reason,
right? And
then she got canceled. It's like my first reaction truly was like, good, and I was like, you know what? Not good, not good. I actually don't want that. I don't want that. But my first reaction, because I'm sick of that, right? I was like, yeah, but then I caught myself. And the problem is they never catch themselves.
Right.
They just go, on to the next.
Bigger, larger scale, more recent examples in pop culture would be like, the Gina Carano issue versus the Major League Baseball issue.
Yeah.
The right's pissed off that the left canceled Gina Carano, but the right's pissed off that, you know what I'm getting at. But that Major League Baseball moved the All-Star game out of Atlanta. So it's like
here, and this is my little political insight of why it's all hypocrisy. They moved out of Atlanta to go to Colorado, where all of those laws exist, to a very white state.
Right.
So all they did was pull away black employment. That's all they fucking did. That's what I'm saying. It's all a show. Democrats, Republicans don't care about you. It's all a fucking show. It's all a fucking show. Because what I just said is true. They pulled out for voting ID rights. Colorado has those laws. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not even a joke. It's like, it's just true. And then you go, well, why did they do that then? What's the reason? Because they did it for a political theater. That's it.
Right.
And if you can respect that, well, I don't know how. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you could be like, I'm going to go vote for fucking blue and red. Whatever, man. Have at it. Have at it.
So being an MMA guy and being a libertarian, and since we're on the topic and I've already brought her up, what's your take on the whole Gina Carano issue?
I think she could say Pedro Pascal, her co-star, did the same exact thing, but the left version of it, and it was fine. And what he shared was actually false. Right? He is like, look at these kids in cages. It's like Nazi Germany. It was kids in cages, not in America. And it was also during a picture, I think, during Obama's presidency. So like, had nothing to do with Trump. But it's like, oh, you're comparing Nazis to Trump. And now Gina Carano just compared the same thing. So you guys did the same fucking thing. But that's okay.
Yeah.
So it's either both's okay or none of it's okay. But you got to pick. Because what you're doing is very biased. And it's very obvious. So
I have a very business mindset of the whole thing. And to me, neither one was okay. But mine
is fine. But that's my point. It's like, but then that's fine then. But then they both. Here's the thing. It's not. Oh, this is why I fucking hate the social justice shit.
Right.
Because by me now doing this, I sound like I'm defending fucking Gina.
No.
I know, but and you know I'm not, but people will take it and I just have to be like, well, no, I'm actually defending hypocrisy because I can't stand hypocrisy, and what you're doing is hypocritical, and I'm not going to stand for it. So either they're both not okay, or they're both okay, but you can't fucking pick and choose. I'm not okay with that, and what you're doing is picking and choosing, and I'm anti that. So whatever that is, I'm that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The viewpoint that I have of it is like people that work at Disney. Since Star Wars is now owned by Disney, this is the analogy more at large. So Star Wars is owned by Disney. Let's say you are a character in a Star Wars park or a Disney park. All the characters in the Disney park, they have to learn how to sign an autograph the same exact way. Okay. They have to stay in character the whole time they're in the park, right? So logic would go that the people that they hire for their shows and that they cast for their shows and such probably have to conform to a similar standard, right? And this is where they're both wrong.
Right.
So if you are espousing your political beliefs on social media while you are promoting a branded product, then you are probably going against their bylines, either which side of the fence you're on.
For sure.
Right. So I don't know. Like, I hated seeing her go. I like to look at Gina Carano.
I love Gina Carano. She's the original MMA girl. Man.
Absolutely.
Put it on the map.
Absolutely. And I don't honestly believe she understood the depth of what she was sharing either. I think it was a very black and white issue for her, and that issue within itself has some nuance to it, you know?
Right. But again, the same thing for the Mandalorian himself. Is it right? It's literally the same thing, but a different way of thought. But it's the same. There's no difference. So it's like that's when I go, okay, well, what's your reasoning then, Disney? Oh, it's because you guys also think that way. Well, that's it. There's no other answer. Right? Logic would dictate. That's it. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Sorry, but like people don't like to hear it. Sorry, but you tell me what it is then, because you can't. I've had the argument with other people. You can't, because it all comes back to that. I just go, cool. Pedro Pascal did it.
Yeah, and
he's still the Mandalorian, which again I'm fine with. I don't give a shit. But it's the inconsistency I care about. That's what I care about.
Yeah. And I don't know the dog and pony show that's followed it. I don't think has helped anybody, but that's a different subject altogether.
Yeah.
So is doing stand-up comedy in these times with these issues in hindsight, is it one of the most dangerous professions on the planet right now?
No, because dangerous would imply that people try to kill us or fight us, and that's not true. Sometimes, but like also most comics are fucking pussies also. So like there's like me who like I used to fight, right? I used to do MMA. So there's like a handful of us used to actually like box or do something, and then like everyone else is like, I fucking am scared of Cheez-Its, whatever. It's like, what? Okay, dude, yeah, I got it. So it's like it's like I'm not really nervous. I'm not really feeling danger or threatened to this profession. As far as like, but it depends, I guess, in your comedy. Like, so me personally, like I talk a lot about myself,
right?
Or like things I might see observationally, things I see funny, but I'm not really doing anything controversial. I don't talk about politics,
right?
Like, right. So even though I'm a libertarian, that's like I try to separate that shit. Like I'm not Dave Smith, right? I'm not that good. Like he could do that's his thing. That's not my fucking thing like that. Like I love politics and I love comedy, and it's just separate from me. I have one bit where I mention I'm libertarian because it's important to the bit, but like I don't talk about it because I don't want to alienate a crowd, you know. It's not my thing. So like I'm pretty safe. I mean, I'm dirty, but like people are not going to get like offended,
right?
Because it's making fun of myself mostly, and no one really cares when you make fun of yourself. Like, you know, so it's fine. So yeah, for me, it's like, but some of my friends, you have to navigate some tough shit. You know, they gotta weigh the waters of sharks.
I think more of what I'm coming from is like guys like Chappelle that are making comedy dangerous again, and that's why it's getting exciting. Like, because realistically, the guys like Chappelle and your Bill Burr and people along those lines that are kind of sticking to their guns. It's like, I'm just going to fucking be me.
To be fair, though, Chappelle and Burr they transcended.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So guys like me, or like even guys a little above me, like where we can't, dude, there's no fucking way. Like it would be so hard. It's not undoable. It's very hard. It'd be way harder because think about like Chappelle just says whatever the fuck he wants now. Like this straight up, no one cares. I mean, it's not no one cares. People care, but he didn't get canceled. Same thing with Bill Burr. He went to SNL, was like, white women suck. And everyone was like, and he was like, fuck you. And he was like, all right. like, you know, it's like he doesn't give a shit. But that's also Bill Burr's point. He goes, like, just don't apologize.
Right.
Because once you bend the knee, you fucking give in to the fucking mob. All right. So just don't.
It's almost like it's a generational thing then too.
Yeah, I hate to be like Gen Z sucks, but like Gen Z fucking sucks, dude. Like they like listen, our parents' generation of boomers, right? They weren't fucking great. They had their issues with the country, but they're more like they like economics. They fucked us, right? Like they fucked us, right, like in terms of like economics and finances, and then you have Gen X who they just fucking they're the helicopter parents to the Gen Z,
right? Yeah.
Right. So then you have millennials like me, because it's for 80 to 94, I think. I was born in 86. And then we're the ones, like, we're not great either, but we're the ones who are trying to hold it together, I feel like. And then you have Gen Z who's just like, and like, you guys are fucking contribute nothing. It's like, you guys contribute literally nothing. So it's like, I don't know what's going on. We still have think about it. We have 4 generations living in America right now.
Oh, we might even have more than that because you got like.
Okay, you're right, but I'm talking about the 4 ones that contribute most of society. Because you have like the greatest generation still kicking, but they're dead. So like they're dying. They barely exist. They're dust. They're skeletons. They're skeletons walking. So they contribute nothing anymore. So you have the boomers still who are still in law, making laws in Senate and all. Right, they're affecting us. Then you got the Gen Xers who are fucking raising shitty kids. You get the millennials who are like, we don't really know what we're doing. We're trying our best. And then the Gen Zs who are the kids of the fucking Gen Xers who are being fucking shitty to culture. So it's like, it's and all 4 of those generations contrast each other so much. They're so far apart. It's so hard to get into a common talking place. Because like, you go on TikTok at all? It's fucking psychotic.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like, it's so weird because I've done episodes where we've talked about TikTok before, how the algorithms in TikTok work as well. And it depends if you're a business account versus a personal account and the things that you see. And it does come from all fucking walks of life. And it's insane.
Here's the thing, dude. Like, I'm 34, married. You know, I love my wife. And it's like, I go on TikTok and I'm like, I'm uncomfortable with this child shaking her ass in this bikini.
Yes.
This is not hot. I'm an adult. like this is creepy.
Right. Yeah, I've got. I shit you not, man. I'm paying for all of my sins of my youth. I've got 3 14-year-old girls.
How?
twin stepdaughters and my daughter.
Oh,
14.
My God.
All the same age.
What was your past life? Did you just rape women?
Your
past life?
God.
This is your fucking. This is your penance to your fucking.
yeah. If you believe in
a fucking reincarnated penance, you have teenage daughters now.
Oh yeah. If you believe in a higher power, somebody.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Like this guy needs to learn same exact energy, man. I see those things on TikTok and I see these kids learning the TikTok dances and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, shit, when I was in high school, it was like.
I remember in high school just playing football because I was, again, big into football. So, like, and by the way, I was not popular in high school at all. My teammates fucking hated me because I was a comic book nerd. This is true.
Yeah.
This is also why I learned how to fight. This is my story. It's fucked up. So, I started playing football like 11, 12, and I was good. And I went to high school. I went to a Catholic high school in Staten Island, and started I was good, but I was like, this is before comic books were cool, and before Spider-Man, Batman were cool. I was a big comic book nerd, and I wasn't like a jock. You know, I didn't have that mentality, even though I love football and I was a sports head. I fucking played baseball and shit too, but like, I just wasn't like a jock. So everyone was like, oh, fucking, but like come game day, like, oh, you're awesome. And then the very next day of practice, like, fucking loser. And they wouldn't like beat me up, but they would bully me, you know? And I was like, I remember at 18 years old, I was like, yo, I'm learning how to fight because I'm dumb getting bullied. Like, I'm not going to college and get bullied. That's crazy. So, that's when and then that's when I got to MMA. I started doing that at 18 years old, and I fucking learned how to fight. But like, so high school was crazy like that. Like, but yeah, I played football from 12 to 25, like full contact, like full pads, and I did like some fucking two-hand touch and flag leagues and shit later on. But now I'm just an old man on TikTok. And it's weird.
Dude, it's crazy. Your story and mine are so similar. Instead of being an athlete, instead of football, mine was music. Like, okay. So I was the rock band guy, right? But I was totally into comic books. I lived in big cities my whole life. I used to move all over the United States. My dad had a career that caused us to move every 2 to 4 years. It wasn't military. He worked for Mercedes-Benz. So
doing what?
Was
he a fucking mechanic?
No. Nothing glamorous. He ran parts departments for Mercedes-Benz dealership. So
I think your dad was an assassin, bro.
Maybe slaying that.
He ran parts. He ran parts.
Yeah.
He's running guns, bro.
But yeah, so I get to high school and I end up in a small town in high school, like. And I've lived in big cities. I've lived in Amarillo, Texas, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Denver, Colorado. I've lived all over. High school, I moved to this small town, less than 5,000 people. And it was the same exact thing. You know, I was the band guy. I did the music thing. So, of course, I leaned into martial arts, too. You know, like when I was in high school, that's just when UFC 1, 2, and 3 were happening. So I was doing Taekwondo. Some of my buddies were starting to learn jujitsu as it was new. But yeah. And it's weird how those situations, those bullying situations, inform us as adults and kind of shape who we become later on in life.
Dude, I am like, if I see bullying in the street, I'll be like, yo, knock that shit out. I'll fuck you up. Like straight up. Right. Straight up. Like I use my MMA powers for good. Like I straight up will I will instigate fights for what I think is justice easily because I hate bullying. So like if I see it, I'm like, no, you're not tough. I'm actually tough. So I'll show you what tough is. Like don't fucking because here's my philosophy with that. People act like dicks. Adults act like dicks because they go their whole life without getting checked because people don't check them. I will check you. I'll be that guy. I don't look. I have no muscle on me anymore. I'm 150 pounds but I know what I'm doing, and I will leg kick you, and you will drop, and I will choke you the fuck out, and you won't know what to do. And I will not easily kick you in your fucking leg, and you because I've leg kicked like if you ever get into a street fight, and you leg kick somebody, they don't know what the fuck to do. They're like, what just happened to me? it's like their world folds in on themselves. Like it's fucking, it's wild. So like I will stamp that out because I hate it. I hate it. It's bully prey shit. Like you're preying on people, and it's like I get like this thing in me, or even dumb shit. I'll like people who talk on speakerphone in public, like in lines. I'll be like, yo, get that off. Shut off your phone. That's crazy. I don't want to hear conversation. They'd be like, what'd you say? I'll be like, shut your phone. Shut your phone. You're rude. Like don't look at me like I'm rude. You're rude. Like, I'm not the rude one here. And then if I'm like shut it off, or put it on just regular phone. And if they want to push it, I'll be like, oh, no, I'll push it. I'll take you outside. That's fine. We'll go outside. And it's like, I'm not trying to be like a tough guy. I just want to show like people have to learn like not to do this. It's not okay to just walk through life and just think you could do whatever the fuck you want. Because there's like fucking social class shit that we have to all keep in order for fucking society, goddammit. So like as libertarian as I am, it's like doesn't mean you get to be an asshole. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, don't be an asshole. So like I'll check you. Yeah, be an asshole around me, but you're gonna get checked. And 99.99% of the time, people will back the fuck down. Right. They don't really want to do that. They really don't. I'll be like, dude, you want to throw hands? I'll test the smoke, dude. And be like, nah, I don't want it. It's like, that's what I fucking thought. You don't. Right. And I'm like, I'm not being tough. You just have to learn your fucking lesson. Like, you have to learn that you are not tough and don't bully people around you. Because a lot of people don't like confrontation. My wife is fucking, she hates me. My wife hates me. Like, because like, I'm so like, no, I'll start a fight with this guy in a restaurant. And she's like, no. Like, just fucking stop, let it go. And I'm like, I can't because everyone lets it go. That's why he's doing this. And like, that's what we always argue about. Yeah. Always have the argument.
Same with my wife too. So, you know, on the lines of that, have you found, as you've found success as a comic, that some of those people that were that way to you in high school are kind of crawling out of the woodwork and like, hey, bro, what's going on? Good to see you, kind of thing?
No, not really. I cut ties with almost everybody from Staten Island, honestly, because fuck them. Fuck them. Like, they're trash. Like, get the fuck.
Yes.
Like it's straight Italian trash from fucking Staten Island. Like, you're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. I still have like a lot of good comedy friends from Staten Island who are fucking, but they're doing shit. They're doing comedy. Like, they're fucking traveling.
Right.
They just live in Staten Island. But like, so many fucking city. Dude, I get it. It's just like, how many fucking my friends are sanitation workers? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With like 8 kids. I'm like, yeah, you have no money. It's like, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's like, yeah, man, that's the life you want, I guess. But I don't. Like, I want to travel. I like the fact that I get to travel to do comedy. I get to see the country. I get to like, and even now, I get to go on vacation with my wife. I get to go to Mexico. I get to fucking go. I could, and like, yeah, you guys don't, because you live in Staten Island. You live in New York City, which is high ass in taxes. So you're paying out the fucking ass. You're a city worker, which is a good job, but you have 4 kids and you're fucking 35. So what do you think? You're fucking rich? like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
No, you're not. Like, you can't go anywhere and you're going to be miserable. And when I talk to you, you're miserable and you try to bring me down. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's like, that's what happens. And like, I sound shitty, but it's like, I can't keep talking to these fucking guys, like my old friends who like just, it's so negative.
Right.
It's so, and I'm like, it physically makes me feel like shit. And it sounds like I'm an asshole. I know, and I give them chances. I'm like, hey man, let's talk about this. What's this going on? It's always like, oh yeah, fucking this hurts. Fucking my wife's doing this. The kids, I don't have money. I can't go here. I go, yeah, I know. That's why I didn't do that.
Right.
like I know. You should have Bitcoin like I did. I don't know what to tell you. It's negativity, dude. I'm trying to just escape it, and it's hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I commend you for that, because, for me, like, going to high school in a small town, there's something that, even though I was not native, there's something that still kind of ties me there. And my wife has this rule of thumb that if you run from somebody in the grocery store that and you hide from them in the grocery store, they shouldn't be your friends on social media. I wish I could adhere to that rule too sometimes, because man, I do get those messages from people that, maybe weren't the kindest back in the day, that are just kind of now clout chasing, if you will. And maybe their intentions are innocuous, but it's crazy. It's a crazy life.
I should say, I sometimes I get a message from someone being like, oh, so like, I've been thinking about doing comedy. I go, I'm not your friend. We were never friends. So my advice, go hit off Mike and I'll see you on the circuit probably. Never. So good luck.
That's awesome.
Fuck out of here. Like, you're not my boy. Like, I remember what you did to me and said to me, like, you never amended. And again, it's like, if you were just like, hey man, I'm sorry I was a dick. It's like, hey man, water under the bridge. I'm fucking fine now. I'm 34. It's like, it is what it is. But it's like, I'm not gonna fucking have you just think you still could fucking walk all over me. Like, right. Fuck out of here. Like, that's a world of difference, dude. Like, I am not who I was in high school. And like, if you are, I think you're a fucking loser.
Right? Absolutely.
If you're the same person, I have traits. We all have traits of the same when we were in high school. I think that's good. But if you're the same fucking person you were in high school, you need to walk into a polar bear pit.
Absolutely, they do.
Like, what are you contributing? Fucking 8 other dumb kids who won't contribute shit either. Fucking more dumb Italian genes in Staten Island. Like, we don't need them. We already have a dump. We already get rid of the dumb. We don't need more fucking dumb kids. Stupid. I'm already dumb from Staten Island. We need more of us.
So what's next for you? So you got the Porcupine coming out. That's your new podcast. Cult of Us is going pretty good. So what else is on the plate for you, man?
Hopefully that little mini tour goes through in the summertime. I get to do with I'm sure he want me to say it. Dylan Negri from he's producer over at Gas Digital. He also has a podcast, Doped Up and Dying over. Yeah. I'm actually doing his podcast Friday. And
awesome.
Then I think him and I and his buddy Kevin Sanchez, we might be doing like a mini tour, like Philly, New York, DC, North Carolina, Miami.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it's not set in stone, so that's why I'm not saying anything. It really dropping dates or anything. But I think that's the plan. So that's cool. I want to fucking do that again. I miss it. That was fun doing it, and then stopping sucks. Like we just fucking stopped. But like, yeah, man. Like I that's the goal, just to get touring again, comedy, and then growing Cult of Us and the Porcupine. That's really what I want to do.
Awesome.
Those are my two things. That's my goals. My three goals. Like just keep doing stand up, hitting the road back again, and then Cult of Us, Porcupine, grow those two bitches.
So Cult of Us, since we kind of covered the Porcupine, what it's going to be about at length, just a brief summation of what Cult of Us is for our audience.
Man, Neil and I fucking just talking about our lives, dicking around. It's just us trying to have fun, make you guys laugh. Like that's all it is. We're not being serious. Like, we just try to be goofy and funny. Like
a lot of pop culture. It's fantastic.
Well, just referencing stuff. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, and like again, tonight's episode was just us just riffing about my fucking. So essentially, I got really, really ripped on RSO oil, and if you guys don't know what RSO oil, it's like really concentrated THC oil. And I took so they come in syringes of a full gram of RSO, and edibles don't work for me. But if edibles do work for you, the recommended dose for RSO is 1 drop or 2 under your tongue. And I took half a syringe and put it on a Little Debbie. And then I took my dog for a walk around my neighborhood.
Oh, no.
So I did that, and I have my headphones on, having a great time, and I see an older couple walking where I think is their grandchild, and I'm like, that doesn't really look like a kid though. And I'm getting closer because they're kind of walking slow, and I'm like, nah, it's a weird. What type of, is that a kid? What is that? Is that a little person? I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't know. That's weird. Their head's very small, and I'm walking, getting closer, and I'm like, oh, it's the Benjamin Button person. But not like a negative way, just like, oh, a progeria, whatever. I couldn't think of the name progeria. Couldn't think of the name because I was on RSO, ripped on RSO, and I was like, oh, Benjamin Button, that's what it was. Not like, oh, fuck him, just like, oh. And then I noticed that they looked angry, and then I was like, why are they angry at me? That's weird. And then I was like, oh, I'm talking out loud, and they heard everything I just said.
No inner monologue.
Because I said out loud, oh, look, it's a Benjamin Button person 5 yards from them.
Oh, shit.
And they 100% heard me and 100% weren't thrilled. And then I was like 4 feet past them, and I was like, oh, I said it out loud. And I was like, sorry, and I just kept walking in shame. Like I had nothing. I didn't know how to recover, so I just didn't know what to do. I was like, if I had a katana, I would have just harakari'd myself. Fucking, that would have felt so bad. I really didn't mean to do that. That's my life. So
that's fantastic, man. Well, I thank you very much for taking time out to shoot the shit with me tonight. This has been a lot of fun. And dude, I want to do this again sometime if you're down.
Man. This is all I do. It's my job.
That's awesome.
Comedy and podcasting.
Now I will tell you, I don't know if you've listened to any of my past episodes. I occasionally have some UFC guys on. It might be fun next time I have one of those guys on to have you on with me.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, dude, so if you want, we on Cult of Us, a little quick plug for my Cult of Us shit. Our Patreon, our $3 tier. If you join that, you get all of our access to like our videos, our regular videos we do, but also we do UFC watches.
Oh, that's awesome.
So like you could jump in our Discord and you get to hang out with us. Wink.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So for $3 a month,
you hear that, everybody?
Hang out in the Discord with us as we watch the fights, like us here at the studio. And then you guys also get to listen and also talk with us.
That's
Wink.
Awesome.
So, maybe it's worth it to you guys for patreon.com/cult of us to get those extra fun episodes we put out. And if you guys like to hear us talk about MMA, wink, wink, you guys should join that tier. So, but Mike, if you want to, you could just jump on with us and hang out and commentate and stuff with us too.
Let's do that sometime.
Yeah.
Let's make plans for that, brother. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to my friend Adam Nutter for being on the show today. That was a blast. Make sure you look for his podcast, The Cult of Us, on your favorite podcast app. And Adam himself has a stand-up comedy page on Facebook. Search him out. Also search out Adam's company, DropTent Media. It is a cooperative of other podcasters with different topics all across the board. Speaking of cooperative, I cannot be more excited about the next episode that's being recorded later this week, episode 20. This has a lot of personal significance with me. Just stay tuned to this channel. More to come soon. This is the part where I normally ask you for your 5-star rating on your favorite podcast app and to share my social media. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. This has been Caught on the Mic with Michael Clark. I'm Michael Clark. Until next time, thank you.